Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. It's the big one. It's Manchester City against Liverpool. Can they take advantage of Arsenal finally dropping some points? We watched a fantastic game last night at Sunderland, and there is an opportunity at the top of this Premier League, as we can see. It's so congested. We'll go through some of the afternoon results in a moment. Eddie Howe's got to be in danger, hasn't he? They're not on that page. 10th place is 17 points. Newcastle are 5 points off that. They're on 12 points and they're only 2 points off relegation. Eddie Howe and Newcastle, what's going on? What is going on? Isak not doing particularly well for Liverpool, but Newcastle not doing particularly well either. So, lots to discuss in relation to that. But obviously, we're looking at the top of the table. There is an opportunity for Liverpool to win tonight and to go into second place on 21 points and be 5 points off Arsenal. There is also an opportunity for Manchester City to win and go second place and be 4 points off Arsenal. Who, out of the two, can do it, or do we think it will be a draw? Vanilla says the table is very crazy at the moment. I suppose it is. Deed says, why are you so early, Mark? The game kicks off in 19 minutes, mate. 19, not 90. And there's a lot to go through in relation to team news and a lot of games in the 2 o'clock game as well. Brentford with a good win. But let's first of all look at the lineups. I suppose that's the first place to start. And how has Pep gone? We know that they're not going to use Rodri. So that's your Manchester City side. It consists of Donnarumma, Nunez, Diaz, Vardiel, O'Reilly, Silva, Gonçalves, Foden, and Cherki, Haaland, and Doku. I don't know. Look, Man City, this is a great opportunity for them. It really is a great opportunity for them. And I think that they've got to try and grasp the nettle, so to speak. But I still look at that Man City side and go, I don't know. It's a new Man City under Pep, isn't it? And I still look at it and think, why is Ryan? I would have started Reinders. I don't know why he's not starting, and Bernardo Silva is, but he is the captain, I suppose. Cherki, Doku, Foden, Bernardo Silva. It's quite attacking. I certainly think we'll see. I certainly think we're going to see goals in the game anyway. But that's the Man City side. The Liverpool side is on your screen, as you can see. Marmoushashvili, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson. That's a very wise move by Slot. He's obviously abandoned this Kirkez experiment for the moment. Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai, absolutely spot on again. But Wirtz does start with Ekitike and Salah, Gakpo on the bench, which again, I sort of feel like, I don't know, Liverpool fans, I feel like Gakpo has been one of your better players this season, and he seems to now be the bench player so that Wirtz can play off the left. They've spent a lot of money on Wirtz, haven't they? Isak is on the bench. He is back today on the bench, as is Gakpo, like I say. Kirkez is on there as well. So look, it's such a massively fascinating game. Arsenal, obviously, I don't even feel like Arsenal dropped points yesterday. I think that's very offensive to Sunderland, who, all right, it was a last gasp equaliser, but Sunderland are a good side, and the opportunity is certainly there for Man City or Liverpool to try and make a title race of this Premier League, which would be great. It's whether either of these teams are good enough to sort of put the other one in the corner. Robbie obviously went with a draw in this. I've gone with the City win. You could easily go with the Liverpool win. In fact, we should get a bit of a poll going on this one. I think it's the excitement of the game is the unknown of the game. This game has probably been the biggest game in the Premier League for the last decade, whether we like it or not. And there has been, twists and turns in relation to that, and on who's the better team, who's not the better team. And at the moment, I think it's one of the first times where I would say, normally, over the years, it might be Man City who's the better team, or it might be Liverpool who's the better team. But I think coming into it here, there's a bit of a identity crisis as to who is that team. Is it Liverpool or is it Man City? And I think one of them needs to try and win the game so that they can try and put a bit of pressure onto Arsenal. Interestingly, straight after the international break, Liverpool are at home to Nottingham Forest. Man City go to Newcastle, who cannot afford to lose another game. So, yeah, I hope it's not a draw, actually. I know Arsenal fans want it to be a draw, but I hope we get some conclusivity from one of these two teams today, because it would be good to have a team, you know, fighting for a title that's good enough to do it. So I'm hoping we get a good game, and I'm hoping we get a clear indicator of who's going to be the second best side. Let's go through some of the results today, though. Let's get that league table back up just for a couple of minutes. Let's discuss this, because you can vote on the match poll, but the results from today's game in the Premier League have left the Premier League looking like that. I mean, Palace and Brighton drew, which was good for United, because if one of them had won, they'd have gone above us. So I'm thinking, yeah, we're still in 7th place. We've held on to 7th place. Chelsea won last night. They moved ahead of us. We're still 7th place. But then because Villa scored 4 goals, their goal difference is now better than us, so they're ahead of us. So we are into 8th. We could have been 9th. We could have been 9th if Palace or Brighton hadn't drawn. But the results from today, Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0. 2 very bad weekends for Bournemouth. Beaten comfortably by Manchester City this time last week. And Villa have absolutely smashed them out of the park, out of the Villa Park there. 4-0. No men sent off. Bournemouth missed a penalty as well. It's a crazy, crazy league, and I don't think anybody would have predicted that. But Villa, absolutely rampant. And, you know, they were on a good run, Villa, as well. They'd won 4 games in a row before they went to Anfield and inexplicably tried to play out from the back. But they've won 5 games in the last 6 now. So Villa are looking very, very good again. Brentford, I've got to say, I didn't go with a win for Brentford. I said a draw. Newcastle were winning 1-0, but imploded in the second half. Dan Burn sent off 3-1 to Brentford, which leaves Eddie Howe's Newcastle on 12 points, only 2 points off the relegation zone. And with Sunderland, a massive 7 points ahead of them in 4th place. I think the pressure has to be on Eddie Howe now. Surely. I've always spoken about how I like Eddie Howe and I want him to stay in a job because he's English, and there's not many English managers in the top level of English Premier League football. But the ambitions of Newcastle, this is turning into exactly what happened before. And the trouble with repetition is, if it keeps repeating itself, you need to make a change. I.e., Eddie Howe can get Newcastle into the Champions League, but when you're in it, he can't perform in the league and the Champions League, and you're not going to win the Champions League. So next year, you're not going to be in the Champions League again, and that's the yo-yo that Newcastle don't want. So he's got to be under huge pressure now, although the manager market isn't that good. So, you know, why would Newcastle look at it in the summer potentially? I don't know. As I said, Crystal Palace would have been more exciting. Crystal Palace, Brighton, 0-0. There's an element of a derby to this game. I think it's something to do with the motorway, but 0-0. Board draw there. But Nottingham Forest under Sean Dyche have continued their resurrection. They drew against United last week, and they've beaten Leeds 3-1 today. Are we starting to see in the Premier League as well, with regards to the newly promoted sides, bar Sunderland, Leeds and Burnley are starting to lose a lot of games? If you look at Leeds, they've lost 4 of their last 5. And when you look at Burnley, they've lost 4 of their last 6. So they are starting to lose with frequency, whereas West Ham and Forest, West Ham have won their last 2 and Forest have drawn and won. And they're right back in amongst it now. West Ham joint 3rd bottom with Burnley, and Forest are only a point off Burnley as well, 2 points off Leeds and Fulham, and 3 points off Newcastle. So starting to get congested there, apart from Wolves as well. So that's your results today. It's Belabor got hooked again after an hour as well. Sunderland are brilliant to Savage. Love you, Mark, says Glass of Water. Love you too. There we go. Water. City going to pump Liverpool 4-1, says Keel Robinson. And Lee Berman says, we're loving Sunderland back in the Premier League. They were good. They were good yesterday. They were good. I enjoyed that game. And, I you know, we did the match reaction. And the funny thing is, I think about a lot of Arsenal fans weren't, I wouldn't say, you know, I looked a lot, we did the match reaction. I looked at a lot of the comments. There was a lot of Arsenal fans there. And they were actually very subjective about it, pragmatic about it. And you know, not really moaning too much. I mean, I'm sure there are some Arteta out there who've been waiting for months for it, but I think in the main, a lot of Arsenal fans were just sort of like, let's get the next game going and let's beat Spurs, etc., which is obviously what is probably going to be required to be done. But But look, the Premier League at the moment, it's incredible. It really is incredible. I mean, look at that. You've got Bournemouth in 9th on 18 points, and you've got Chelsea in 2nd on 20 points. So 2nd down to, 10th is separated by 3 points. I mean, I've never known anything like it. It's mad. It really is mad. And Brentford, who are in 12th, are only 4 points off 2nd place, and Everton, who are in 13th, are only 5 points off 2nd place. It's congested. Everybody is beating everybody. Is it going to even itself out at some point? I mean, look, as a United fan, I sort of look at it and go, we're 8th place, but we're 2 points off 2nd. Can we go and win 3 or 4 games in a row and put ourselves in 4th place and start to move away from everybody else? But I'm not sure it's going to be that type of a season. I'm really not. I think that at the moment, it feels like it's very difficult to look. The best team on form is Arsenal, and the second best team on form is probably Villa. To be honest with you, as I said, 5 wins and 1 loss in their last 6. That's a lot of points. But look, I don't know. I mean, look, Chelsea looked good last night. They've won 4 of their last 5 as well. Man City have won 4 of their last 5. Liverpool have won 1 of their last 5. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether we're going to get those breakaway teams that are going to push away. Personally, I don't think it's sustainable for people like Brighton and Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. But you know, I don't know. You tell me. I think it's very, very interesting. Right, let's get those teams back on the screen for you, because we are here for, well, we're only 8 minutes away from the start of the game now. Let's get this Man City side back on screen. So yeah, I've gone with the Man City win simply because Robbie went with a draw, and I said we play win, lose or draw, and I basically said if he whatever he goes for, I'll go for something else as a differential, because I'm 2 points behind him. So he went with the draw, so I went with the City win, and I would have fancied that a little bit more than a Liverpool win because of the home form. Oh, did Brighton get a penalty? That's a massive dive. It must have been overruled. Yeah, I think it got overruled. So it looked like Brighton did get a penalty, and then the referee overruled it for a blatant dive. Fair play. Fair play on that. A True Gent says, is anyone else using FOTMob? The widget's not updating. If anyone knows about that, let him know. I'm sure somebody will, because we've got nearly 7,000 of you watching. Please do share the video. Let's see if we can get up to 10k watching. Share. If you believe. She sang that, didn't she? But yeah, I mean, look, I think that there are... We've done all right this weekend. I mean, Man United Spurs was quite good. 4 goals, last minute equaliser. Arsenal Spurs, Arsenal Sunderland, 4 goals, last minute equaliser. So we've done all right in relation to drama. I mean, I wouldn't say the football's scintillating, but that's something I'm looking at this game today as well. Arne Slot is a big advocate of playing football in the right way, very much anti the set piece, direct, and all that stuff. Pep's always been anti that, but has gone a little bit more direct. I mean, can I just say it? Yes, I will. I actually find Man City better to watch this season than I have in years. I don't mind it. You know, they're not necessarily the 70% possession side anymore. They're more 60%. They're a little bit more direct, as I say. But look, I think if Liverpool were to lose this game, we must also remember that would be a whopping 5 losses in their last 6. So they've had a good week, Liverpool. But let's not forget, they have had a good week. But they were in a very, very bad place. A very, very bad place before. But I think the Real Madrid game, they played well. The Villa game, they were better. And I think a lot of that is back to the fact that McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai are back together in the midfield. And Andy Robertson's back in the defence. And the familiarity of having that back 4 and that midfield 3 is a platform they can build upon. Still don't really have Mo Salah firing back yet. And Wirtz really hasn't hit the ground running, as we know. If they can get those things working as well, then I think it becomes, very interesting for Liverpool. But they can't afford to lose this game today. Minimum, they've got to be looking at a draw. Right, in relation to the result, 45% of you have gone with a Man City win. 28% of you have gone with a draw, and 28% of you have gone with a Liverpool win as well. So the majority going with a Man City win. Yeah. Dave says, if Robbie's gone for a draw and Mark's gone for a City win, then that's what the chance what's the chance of a Liverpool win. I'll tell you what, on win, lose or draw, I was bloody happy, and then he's pulled 2 back. Like Brentford and Palace Palace drawing and Brentford winning is basically nullified my 2 good ones. So I think this is the decider for the week, actually. I think we're level. So he's got a 2-point gap. If we can pull it down to 1, I don't want it going back to 3. But look, he wants a draw. He's an Arsenal fan. I can see it being a draw. But I think for the good of the title race, we need somebody to win and take up the mantle of being a title contender. So I want one of these teams to win. I don't know which one I want to win because I don't want either of them to win the Premier League. But I do want a title race. So that's my stance. I want somebody to win, but then I don't want either of them to win the league, which is a bit weird because some people would say, well, if you don't want either of them to win the league, you need a draw and Arsenal moving away. But I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't want a boring title race. I want Arsenal to win it, but I want a title race. I'm greedy, you know? Who do you think's the favourite? Man City are the best team United have played this season. That might be because we played them at the Etihad, and Arsenal, it was the opening game of the season at Old Trafford. But Man City are definitely the best team we've played. But I don't think Man City have really had a test, other than the Emirates, where I feel Arsenal missed an opportunity there, to be honest with you. Would you rather Arsenal or Chelsea win the Premier League, says hello? I mean, I don't really care. I suppose I'd rather Arsenal win it because I don't want to see Garnacho lifting it. If you didn't have Garnacho, I probably wouldn't care. But I don't want to see Garnacho lifting the Premier League title, sat on the bloody advertising hoard, acting all smug. Yeah. So no, I can't want to. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I wouldn't normally care about Chelsea, but now that you've got Garnacho, I don't want you to win anything. So there we go. Nearly 8,000 watching. Keep sharing the video. Please do subscribe. Welcome to That's Football. I'm also going to give a shout out as well because they're doing the Remembrance Sunday memorial at the moment on the screen. And also tell you Seb's result. He was playing this morning. But next Saturday, all day, on this channel from 11 a.m. till late into the early hours. And I am lining up a horror game this year because it's something that we always say we'll do later and we definitely need to do this year. My all-day charity stream for people with terminal illness, the Marie Curie Centre. So we've raised tens of thousands of pounds each year that we've done this, hundreds of thousands of pounds altogether. So please mark that in your diary and pop in, you know, all day if you can, but even for a few hours or a couple of hours, yeah, get involved with that with us. Somebody says, be quiet, Mark. I don't do the minute silence or anything like that on a live stream because it's absolutely pointless because there's so many people around the world and it's a live stream. And we've done this multiple times over the weekend and I've done multiple minute silences like I did at 11 o'clock today. But they are doing that at the moment. So, yeah. Look, yeah, all-day stream for charity next week as well. We had a bit of a nightmare drive. Seb kicked off at 11:30 today. They had a cup game over in Worcester. So it was about a 45-minute drive, which was quite a pleasant drive because it was all through the countryside. Didn't have to go on the motorway. But every little village we went through was doing Remembrance Sunday. And there was loads of roadblocks because people go into the centre of the village and it's fantastic how they do that. We were driving at the time, so we just had a minute's silence in the car. But we were a little bit late getting to the match. Cup game, and it was brilliant. I'll tell you what, if this game's like Seb's Cup game today, it was an absolutely brilliant game. We were winning 1-0 in the first couple of minutes. And then they scored an absolute banger about 10 minutes into the second half. And then we got another goal, and it was just a good battle the last 5 minutes, end to end, and they won 2-1. So yeah, good game by both sides. I think we were the better side. We did miss more chances than them, but they did it the outside of the post at the end, so I think they were a little bit aggrieved. But you know what? It was a good game of football. I enjoyed it. Seb plays. They play 8. They play 6 aside at under 8s. So we play like a 2-1. No. They play 7 aside, don't they? Because they have 3, 1, 2, and a goalkeeper. 7 aside. So Seb either plays right defence or centre mid at the moment. Anyway, we're about to start here, so let's get ready to rumble. I'm not ready. Been chatting to you a lot for 20 minutes and I wasn't ready for the start of the game. I am ready. They've not started it. Okay, Liverpool are going to take the kick-off here. See you on the other side. Well, I'll see you here. Another long ball kick-off. Don't really understand it, but there you go. I actually do not understand that, right? So Liverpool take the kick-off. They sprint forward. They kick a long ball forward. Man City win it and then keep possession. If Liverpool had took the kick-off and had the ball, they'd have possession and probably be able to get up into City's half. I don't understand this long ball thing all the time. I know people say it's all about possession, but they didn't get possession. And I've been monitoring this. And 50% of the time, these long kickoffs don't get possession. Whereas if you just pass it to your own player, you do have possession. I don't get it. I really do not get this madness. Early, is that a corner? No, it's a throw-in. Doku wins it. You know what I mean, though? Every team in the Premier League just boots it. And 50% of the time, you don't win the ball. Whereas if you just kick it to your teammate, you're on the halfway line with possession, and then you just work it up the pitch. I don't get it. Going for territory in second one. But they don't have territory. Man City have got the ball. They don't have territory. Weird. What are your thoughts on Xhaka this season and the games yesterday? Do you think Sunderland can get Europe? I don't think they can get Europe, Drin, no, but I think they're doing fantastically well. Sunderland's aim is to stay in the Premier League, and they'll easily do that. Anything else, I think, will be a bonus. Mason Biggerstaff, did you see the goal for Luzon earlier today? No. Dylan says, I didn't see it, mate. So if anyone's seen the goal for Luzon today, Mason says apparently it was a good goal. Did you see Luis Diaz's goal, Mason? Oh, my God. Well, we'll have the highlights this week of the Bundesliga, but Luis Diaz's goal yesterday was brilliant. They didn't win, though. Bayern not winning for the first time in the Bundesliga this season at Union Berlin, a team we like. So, but it was a brilliant goal by Luis Diaz. Absolutely brilliant. You've got to see that or watch it this week on the channel. I'm fuming, says Dylan. I'm a Newcastle fan and I need a crisis video. You're very lucky you don't get one, actually. I think if this game hadn't been hot on the heels of yours, you probably would have had one. I think we probably will talk about it sometime. What score will slot to be questioned more? Who to blame? Well, I think if they lose. I'm here, lads, says Rub. Please do a poll if you use AI to do anything related in your job. Options, yes and no. I'm not doing a fucking poll on people doing AI on a football channel, mate. I'm not your bloody research engine. There must be an article you can put out. Can people tell? I'll tell you what, Rub. Well, meet halfway. People in the live chat, put it in there if you use AI to do anything in your job. Foul by Gravenberch there. Woohoo, thanks for your super chat. Appreciate that. We nearly got 10,000 people watching already. Massive game today. Who knows how many could end up watching. I'm sure a lot of people are watching this game. I just really hope neither team sort of cancels each other out. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I'd seen something there. It was going to be very interesting, but it's not true. Somebody just got an advert about Christmas from AI. Man City on the attack. Canate clears it away. You've got to be quicker there. Gravenberch has had a bit of a slow start. Doku into the box. McAllister will clear it. Murder documentary on TV. Stella in hand and Goldbridge on the phone. If Carlsberg made Sundays. Oh, what's the... Rudolph the Red. What's the murder documentary? Sounds like a good Sunday. I had quite a satisfying Sunday. I mean, obviously I enjoyed Seb's football, did the morning show on the United Stand, and then had a lovely cottage pie for dinner, and then fixed the broken dishwasher, which I think, you know, I was quite quite smug about that. Do I think Coventry City will go up, says Loud Walker? I mean, another big win for them yesterday. You know, they're starting to create a big gap at the top. What do you think will happen, Arsenal-Bayern, says TQ. Oh, I just can't wait for that game. Straight after the international break. Arsenal-Bayern, bring it on. And I think they have to be the contenders for the best two teams in Europe at the moment, because PSG were one of them, but Bayern dealt with them in their own backyard. So I think Arsenal against Bayern is the game for current best team in Europe. Obviously, it's a bit of an advantage, Arsenal being at home, but it'll be a great game. Bit of a breakaway for City. It's a lovely ball. Oh, I tell you what a pass. You talk about great passers in the Premier League, and obviously De Bruyne has left. But watch this pass by Doku. If Foden takes that in his stride, he scores. Brilliant pass by Doku. Why am I not seeing any negative media and press about Eddie Howe and how shit he's been and the money he's spent, says Rajaf? Because Newcastle United are not Manchester United. If Eddie Howe's Newcastle was Ruben Amorim's Man United, the pressure would be unreal. What's the best game you've watched as a neutral, says Henny? I don't know. I mean, I did enjoy Spain-Portugal in that group game in the World Cup a few years ago, where Ronaldo was playing for Portugal and Salah is in, but he hasn't really got the pace. Yes, he has, but Donnarumma grabs hold of it. Yeah, it was De Gea in goal for Spain and Ronaldo was playing for Portugal. It was a really good 3-3. I mean, there's been lots of games, but that one always jumps to mind. Right, we're starting to get going in this game now anyway, after the first 5 minutes. Killian says, what do you think about Angry Ginge on I'm a Celebrity? Good luck to him. He's a nice lad. I don't watch it, so it's not going to have any impact on my life. I've never watched it, so... but, you know, fair play to him. Hope he enjoys it. I presume he can't do Baller League if he's doing that. I mean, personally, I'd rather do bloody Baller League, but, you know, the money's probably better on I'm a Celebrity. And if you're into lifestyle, it's probably the right choice to make because there'll be some good brand deals coming out of that. I think he'll do well because he's quite. I've not spoke to him in a bit, but he's quite a genuine person. So if that comes across on camera, which it will do, he'll outshine all these plastic celebrities. Off topic, what's your thoughts on work-life balance? Has it ever been an issue for you? Struggling with it now, says Robble. I mean, it's probably not the time for it. We're watching Man City Liverpool, but. Yeah, it's certainly very quickly. It has... Oh, Doku's in! He's got to score. Penalty. Why is he not giving the penalty? Why is he not giving a penalty? Why did he not give a penalty there? That looked like a stone wall penalty for Doku. Liverpool making mistakes at the back. Doku can't believe it. I think the referee is relying on VAR here. And he is going to take a look. He is going to take a look. Looked stone wall to me. Absolutely looked stone wall. Canate making a right fuck up. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That looks like a bit of simulation, that does. If you've got to look at that in slow-mo, I think that's a bit of a simulation there. I really do. Let's get a poll. He's going to have a look at it. I think he'll give it. He will give it. If VAR's asked him to take a look, he's gonna give it. But I think it's. I don't think there's enough there. Is it a clear and obvious error? Some people are saying, why is it even a poll? Giving it. Giving it. Well, 60% of you said it's not a penalty. VAR Michael Oliver. Mate, if I speak, I've told you. I've told you so many times. So many times. I don't think that's a penalty. I really don't. I'll admit, in real time, I thought it was, but looking at it, he's left his leg there. The contact is minimal. I think it's harsh. But Michael Oliver, involved in Man City games. It's funny, isn't it? I'll tell you this. Clip it up if you like. So Michael Oliver on VAR, referee doesn't give the penalty. So let me just give you the rules here, right? Listen to this. The referee sees it, doesn't give it. Michael Oliver says, you need to take a look at this because I'm the senior referee. You're only meant to get involved if it's clear and obvious. That is not a clear and obvious mistake. Michael Oliver pulling power again. But hello, remember a couple of years ago at Anfield? Remember when McAllister got kicked in the chest in the last minute? No penalty. Unbelievable. This is the same guy. And he's missed. Justice. Fucking justice. I tell you what, that is justice. Absolute justice. Michael Oliver, you are a fucking joke, mate. You are an absolute hypocrite. You are not good at your job. And I mean, what is it about you and Man City? I don't know. Unbelievable. But justice has been served. But 2 years ago, Liverpool had a stonewall penalty at Anfield. He didn't give it. Here we are 2 years later. He's overruling the referee, on-field referee, for something that wasn't clear and obvious. Pulling rank again, making it all about himself. Absolute joke. Horrible penalty by... Look, it's not Man City's fault, by the way. Again, we're talking about PGMOL, VAR. It's not Manchester City's fault. And you would expect Haaland to score it. But Liverpool... Well, look. That would have been a very unfair thing, I think. But let's not get overheated about it. The reality is 64% of you say that wasn't a penalty. 64% say it wasn't a penalty. The referee on the field said it wasn't a penalty. But Michael Oliver, making his own rules up again for his own needs, decides that was clearly and obviously wrong, so you need to look at it. I mean, they just don't follow their own rules. They don't follow their own rules. That is not enough to go down. It's not enough to go down. There is contact, but we've been told this year that penalties will not be given if it's not sufficient contact. That wasn't sufficient contact. Terrible. Mark, that same docu fouled up McAllister is used on the site of the PGML for a high foot foul. The incompetence is in the nature of the Oliver, says Part. Rub said it was a penalty. Well, justice has been served, Rub. Mark, off topic, done that one on work-life balance. No, I didn't do it, did I? Work-life, yeah. Oh, they're in again. Oh, my God. Liverpool's defence. Liverpool's defence is all over the place here. They're gonna. I tell you what, Liverpool. I know it wasn't a penalty, but your defence is all over the place here. All over. Working Clash Hero says, Mark, you said it was a Stonewall penalty. Mate, in real time, I saw it like a glimpse. I thought it was a penalty. When you look at it on a replay, it's not. God, I'm sure some of you don't listen. Dylan Sparrow says, what's your thoughts on Garnacho? I love him as a Chelsea fan. Prick, basically. Next question. Barchester City, Amar Patel. Thank you very much for your super chat. I met a Bayern fan in Berlin. He said, and I quote, they would bottle it. Says Tab. Who's the signing of the season so far, says Ben J, in the Premier League? Blake says, why didn't Gyökeres get a penalty? Worse and worse every week. I think it's Mbeumo, but I'm just, I don't want to be accused of being biased. I feel like there is somebody else, but it has to be Mbeumo, doesn't it? Xhaka's a good shout. Xhaka is a very, very good shout. Esteban doesn't get picked enough, but I think he's a good player. P. Diddley says, I enjoy your content, man. Thank you very much. Michael Oliver's been playing for City for years, mate. He's not a new signing. Well, Man City definitely the better side here. I feel like there is a City goal coming. Liverpool have not started off very well. And this could be it. Xhaka deflected. I mean, Man City should be winning this game. They're all over Liverpool. Liverpool have got no answer. It's like a boxing match where they're taking hit after hit after hit, and you're just waiting for that first knockout goal. Because Liverpool are not playing well here. Danny on the Gas says, with all these betting investigations, explain how studs to McAllister's chest isn't a penalty, but microscopic contact on Doku is, says Danny on the Gas. Thanks for your super chat, pal. Headed away by Liverpool, but Diaz wins the second ball. When is the Piers Morgan interview out with you, says Michael? I mean, it was only like 5 minutes. It's already on his channel. It was part of the Ronaldo video. I haven't watched it yet. Amar says, if you're Arsenal, who would you rather face in the title race? Well, I spoke to Robbie on Win, Lose or Draw on Friday, and he said he would rather face Man City. But I don't know. I mean, Man City are playing well at the moment. And they have got experience of winning the league, haven't they? Nearly 17,000 watching. Please do share the video. Get involved with That's Football. You're very welcome. Very good start to this game. A little bit of controversy, but thankfully we're not going to be talking about it in too much depth because the keeper saved the penalty. But Man City definitely the better team thus far. Now it's Verts. Terrible pass. Terrible pass. Inexcusably bad. Ekatike does well. Robertson wins it back. Need to switch on some of these Liverpool players because if they don't, they're going to get battered. Bit of possession for Liverpool. Which is what they need. Well, we had 20 minutes already. Nice ball in behind the full-back, and it's Salah up against O'Reilly. He seems to have the beating of O'Reilly for pace, Salah. Nice ball into the box. Man City will nearly clear it. Conor Bradley does well to win that. Can't win that one, and City will clear. I have... Michael says, looks like O'Reilly might be coming off here as well for Man City. He's had a bad first 20 minutes. I like this player. I think he's really good talent for Man City, but he looks like he's going to be coming off here. Michael Angus says they gave that mark, but not the foul on Gyökeres versus Newcastle keeper. Make it make sense. And thank you very much for that. 63% of you said it wasn't a penalty. 37% say it was. It's quite a lot, you know. Certainly not close. Apparently he just got called up for England, O'Reilly. I think he's going to be coming off here. Pep not looking happy. That looks like a bit of a calf problem. It just didn't look like he did anything other than just twist, funnily. He's back on his feet. He might be all right. We shall see. Keep an eye on that. Bit of a break in the play. There's another break in the play here as two players going in together. Come on, get up. God, this is what I hate about modern football. You have a bit of rhythm to the game, and they have these 4 or 5 minute periods where it just dies a fucking death because people are injured and moaning and lying on the floor. Get up. Get on with it. Matt says, how's the game been? Yeah, we're back up and running now. Look, I think apart from the controversy of the penalty, which really we can move on from, Man City have probably been the better side. Well, they have. They've looked more dangerous. Liverpool, you can get at that Man City defence, but Liverpool haven't done it. I mean, if we're being completely honest, Dortmund started off better than Liverpool have on the other night. Michael says, I can't wait for the World Cup to expose our referees. They probably do a good job in the World Cup. Not Billy Big Bollocks, are they? Christopher says, I think Man City should win this. Liverpool, YNWAMV. It's a long name to read out, but I'll read your comment. We don't need to be dangerous. We need the first goal. Yeah, but I don't think your defence looks like it's good enough to get a clean sheet, pal. 58 Go says, unpopular opinion, slot ball is worse than Arteta's. I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously never going to really be wanting to watch Liverpool play good football, but I've got to say they do try and knock it about a bit. You know, you don't see particularly many. I don't associate Liverpool with the long ball and directness. But I agree with this point from Remitz. Why he's not picking Gakpo? And I mean, I feel like every time I watch Liverpool, I'm moaning about what Slot's doing. It's not really moaning because I don't really care. But I do look at it, and you know, for weeks he was picking Kirkes and not Robertson, and it was so obvious to pick Robertson. And now I think he's shoehorning Wirtz in on the left when Gakpo should be playing there. I think it's a weakness. I think Gakpo is one of your better players this season and gives you a lot more balance than Wirtz on the wing. I don't rate Wirtz on the wing. But it feels like he's just desperate to get his new signings in, isn't he? And I've got no doubt Wirtz will be a good player, but I think Gakpo off the wing's a much better player. Will you do watch along for Ireland-Portugal Thursday night? Come on, you boys in green. Well, I don't know what time it's kicking off, Paul, but I am doing England-Serbia, so if it's on around the same time, then we can keep an eye on it. But here's Man City attacking again, and Doku has got space to run at Bradley in a 1v1, and he's got through him again. He's having a very good game, and he hits the side netting. Definitely the best player on the pitch, Doku, at the moment. Actually, I think the keeper made a save. Just battles his way through Bradley there, and then yeah, he did save it. It was going wide anyway. Based on these two teams in the first 20 minutes, how far do you think Arsenal ahead currently are Arsenal? I mean, I think Man City, playing like they are at the moment at the Etihad, would give Arsenal a game, to be honest. Good tackle by Salah. Can't win the second tackle, though. Good play by Wirtz. There should be a yellow card there. Well done, ref. Yeah, Bernardo's best thing you can do as a referee is book Bernardo Silva as early as possible, because he's a little shit when it comes to these types of fouls. And, well, he didn't get booked. It wasn't him. Did he book Bernardo Silva? I think he did book Bernardo Silva. I mean, he could have booked either of them. No, he didn't. He booked Nico Gonzalez. But, yeah, you need to book Bernardo Silva as soon as you can, because he's the master of little shithousery fouls, and he just does it all game until he gets booked. But it wasn't him. They both fouled Wirtz, but it was Gonzalez who got booked. Good play by Foden there, but they're right in their own half here, Man City. As Doku tries to weave his way through the Liverpool midfield. And they do. And they're breaking away now, Man City, with Nuno. Needs to use Cherky here, I think. Where will Man United finish this season, says Imad? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think the league table is massively unpredictable at the moment. You've got 2 points separating second and 10th. So anybody who can string together some results and consistency can be a good season. Unfortunately, United have an allergicness to that. Cross comes in. It's a good cross. It's a goal. And it's Haaland. And it's as simple as that. It really is. He has not been stopped. It's amazing how simple it is. Man City are looking very good. Very good in this game. I don't think Liverpool look like they're going to get much joy. Man City have been the better team in the first half an hour. And that simplicity. Cross into the box. I mean, Konate's had a bad game. It was his fault. The penalty was given with a silly clearance. And he's looked off it again. He's looked off it a lot this season. But, I mean, it's too much time to put the cross in. Too much time. Wirtz has got to get a lot tighter there. I mean, I've got to say, I literally was saying this 2 minutes ago. Wirtz on that wing has arguably just cost you a goal because he's not closed the person down quick enough. And it's his man. It's a brilliant header by Haaland. Konate could have won that header, which is why I was talking about Konate. He's just not. He's got to head it, not try and flick it away. But a fantastic header by Haaland. You've got to look at Slot a little bit there. You have, you know, Konate should defend better, but Wirtz clearly doesn't understand his role as a wide left player. There, you're playing at Etihad. You're not on the attack. You've got to defend. Hope you're doing well, Mark. Says Mitesh. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your super chat. How do you think United would do against the top teams in other leagues? Feel like it would be easier in a way. Premier League is very competitive. Yeah, I think, Christopher, I think the Premier League at the moment is so competitive. And I think in other leagues, beyond your top six, you can probably expect to go and win games a lot easier. He's in again. He's in again. Konate struggling again. But it's Doku. And good take by the goalkeeper there. This could turn into something embarrassing for Liverpool here. They're doing nothing on the attack. But here's Salah. Out to Wirtz. He's got to do something off that wing because defensively he's doing nothing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad, don't they? They drew at the Emirates. I said it to Robbie on Friday. I said, I don't know whether if I was an Arsenal fan, I don't know whether I'd rather Liverpool won this game than City, because Liverpool, you know exactly what they're all about. This Man City side, it's a new side. You don't know what it's all about. And as they grow in confidence and get Rodri back, who knows what they could do? They could go and win 10 games in a row. I can't read that. Cross the ball to your tall striker. Get away, says Keel Robinson. Well, yeah, no, I wish United would do it. $20 past goal. Pep Ball is back, says Nick P. Thank you very much, Nick. LFC, Liverpool need to sell Konate. His head has gone to Real, says Evan. I can't believe they put themselves in the same position again, where you've got a player, and he's not a local lad, is he? I said this look, it's not my club, it's not my place, but I said this in the summer. Surely Liverpool have to get rid of Konate and replace him, because look at what happened with Trent, and he's come through your youth system. This is a guy that you signed from Leipzig who's not local, who is clearly running his contract down. Like, how's that going to work for the rest of the season when he's putting in performances like this? It's not going to go well, is it? And he is playing shit this season as well. Like, I don't think Trent had the best last year because he was probably thinking about Madrid as well. What people don't realise about a player in their last year of their contract is they won't give everything, because if they give everything and they get a cruciate ligament, that deal's gone. So there is always a drop-off with a player that's running their contract down to go somewhere else, because they've got to be careful, you know? That's exactly, O word 3 is exactly true. That's exactly why you went for Gehi. But look, honestly, the first 35 minutes, it's not been good from Liverpool. Get in. I am a man. I am a man. Get in. I couldn't hear the dishwasher, so I thought, oh, it's done it again. I've just gone in, and it's still going an hour later. I am a man. I am a man. I'm so rubbish at DIY. Yes. Smug. Smug. That'll get me, won't get me sexual favours, to be honest with you, from Mrs. But it will get me smug points, which to me is almost as good. I can sit there and go, what did you do today? Made a cottage pie? I fixed the dishwasher. I'm really happy about that. I needed that after United's performance yesterday. Good comment here from Jap. He says, the second slot got rid of Luis Diaz. He completely destroyed what was working for Liverpool on the attacking front. You can't blame Slot for Diaz. You can't. I'm sorry. Diaz wanted to go. And when a player wants to go, it's hard to keep him. But where I do agree with you is he's a massive loss. I always felt that Diaz was there's too much change in that Liverpool side. And, you know, Man City are better than Liverpool. Like they are. It's true. So far in the first 36 minutes. Look, Liverpool have traditionally under Slot been a very good second half side, but is that still true this season? And we spoke last week at the Villa game about how Liverpool way back is confidence. They'll have some confidence from beating Villa and Real Madrid, but this is going to knock their confidence again. Newcastle have fell off this season since spring. Here's one for you. Would you sack Eddie Howe? Yes or no? And the reason I say it is because Newcastle are meant to be a club that, corner to Liverpool here, Newcastle are meant to be a club that's, you know, they're meant to be, I think when you look at Newcastle's last few years, winning the Carabao Cup, getting into the Champions League twice, you'd go, why would we sack him? He's a legend. But the reason I pose the question is because they're shit this season in the Premier League, and they're meant to be a club that's consistently in the Champions League. So I don't want Eddie Howe to get sacked. I think it's, you know, I want to keep an English manager in, you know, in the top areas, but I don't think there's anybody to replace him either. Like Savage says, it's still too early. But I think he's got. I think he's got to change that quickly. Oh, 1-1. Van Dijk. Shit. Oh, I don't know where that's come from. I do not know where that has come from. What the? 8 minutes to go to half time. Set piece FC. Carragher won't celebrate it. I guarantee cut to Carragher. Can't believe it. I can't give me my white trainers. I can't believe it. What a goal. God, I love corners. I love them. It's not been given. Has it been given? It's not been given. Offside. Well, I think he ducks out the way. How can he be interfering with play? How has that been called out? I mean, not given. Offside. Right, I need to run another poll. Eddie Howe, you've been rescued here. Should that have been given? I don't think he's interfering with play. I don't think the keeper's getting anywhere near it. I mean, look, I'm stunned by that. Should that have been a goal? Well, Liverpool needed it to be a goal because I was quite shocked that they'd scored anyway. I mean, they've done nothing, but I think that's pathetic, honestly. Right, so basically, header, Van Dijk, into the bottom corner. Donnarumma is at full stretch. He is not in the eye line of the player. He's not interfering with the player, and he's not interfering with the ball. I'm confused why that's offside. I've got to say I am confused. Yeah, I've got to say that, I mean, look, I don't care massively because it doesn't massively matter, but I will always, when it comes to officiating, I'll call it out. And I just think if that had happened to United, oh, I think Bernardo Silva has got his yellow card now. Yeah, there we go. I mean, look, somebody can probably say by the letter of the law they're right, but I mean, he's just not offside, is he? He's not interfering with play. He doesn't do anything. He's not active. If he'd stood still and the ball had hit him, he's offside, but he ducks out the way, he gets out the way, he doesn't interfere with an onside player scoring a goal. And Donnarumma can't say, oh, I was interfered with, because he wasn't. He was at full stretch. I think it's very, very harsh. Very harsh. That one, I mean, I thought the penalty was dodgy, but that one, I sense there might be a Howard Webb apology coming your way. If he was in front of Donnarumma and he went like that and Donnarumma went, oh, he's interfering. But he's not. Because Van Dijk's heading it that way and Donnarumma's looking at Van Dijk. And he's trying to dive. Robertson's there. Robertson doesn't do anything to him. It's a terrible call. And the worrying thing from a Liverpool perspective is, I was actually about to say, what the hell? How have they equalised in a half where they've been massively the second best team? So, people are saying it's Michael Oliver. I don't know whether that's Michael Oliver. I think it was it not the linesman on the pitch? I don't know. I can't say. Somebody in the chat just said it's in the rules. I don't think it is in the rules though, mate, because if you're not interfering with play, you're not offside. Danny on the gas says commentators are trying to cover for PGML by being adamant Robertson was in the way. Well, we'll look at it again at half time, but no. Look, let's put it this way, it can't be in the rule book, because if I'm running through on goal and if I'm stood in an offside position and the ball goes towards me, but I just walk away from it and somebody runs through, it's a goal. I'm not interfering with play. I'm not interfering with play. And Andy Robertson does the same. He goes, I'm not interfering with play. I'm getting out of the way. Unless they're trying to say, well, you are interfering with play because you needed to duck. But that's like a player who's offside and moves away from the ball. I'm moving away from it to show I'm not active. What do you want me to do? Stand still and block my own bloody shot? You know, it's weird. How is he obstructing? How is he? Nah, he's not obstructing Donnarumma, mate. If you're trying to say he's interfering Donnarumma, Donnarumma's at full fucking stretch and he can't see Robertson. Robertson's not in the eye line of Donnarumma. Donnarumma's here, Robertson's there. Donnarumma's diving with a clear view of Van Dijk's header. He can't get there, basically. He's no way in the eye line of Donnarumma. Donnarumma ain't fucking getting that if he's got go gadget arms. So he's not interfering with Donnarumma and he's not interfering with the ball. It's a crap decision, I'm sorry. And the way I look at it is that's football, and I will be as unbiased as I can. If that had happened at the other end, I would have said that's a joke. And if that happened to Man United, that set would be on the floor. I would be pulling the set down. I would be grabbing this. I would be smacking it like that, like a big cock, I'd be going mad. I would. I think it's... I'm just giving it you pragmatically. I'd be, if that happened to my team, I'd be fucking fuming. I'd be losing it. That's how bad I think that decision is. Especially when you're away to Man City and they're playing really well and your one chance gets taken away from you. I mean, there could have been, 1-1 in a game where they probably should be 2-0 down. And instead, they're 1-0 down and they're not creating anything. Nick P says, I think the rules are more in favour of proximity, not whether he was in the way. Oh, no, mate, look, you know the rules as well as I do. Those rules can be misinterpreted and manipulated however you like. They will find a way to justify that. What I'm saying is, for the good of the game, we shouldn't be seeing goal. I'm absolutely convinced the rules will back them up. But the problem with the rules are, they're written by twats who don't play the game. And all I'm saying is, from a game point of view, goals like that shouldn't be getting called out. Because Van Dijk's header is going in. It doesn't matter if Robertson's there or not, that's going in. And that's how you... There's no subjectivity in football. That's the issue. Van Dijk's goal is going in. Somebody in the VAR room should go, that's had no impact on that goal. Regardless of whether he's in an offside position, whether he ducks, whether he does whether he's singing Agadoo, whatever he's doing, does he cause that goal? No. If you take Robertson out the way, does that go in? Yes. Give the fucking goal. That's how I look at it. If it was Man United, you would say otherwise, Ahmed. I really think people are quite thick, aren't they? So now, if it was against United, as I'm sure every Man City fan is saying, I'd say he was offside. That's called red-tinted glasses, mate. That's got nothing to do with it. If it was Man United who'd had the goal, I mean, what are you? How stupid are you? What are you talking about? So if it was Liverpool against Man United, I'd be saying it wasn't a goal. 100%. I'd be going miles offside. Yeah. But if Man United were Liverpool, I'd be breaking the set. That's just supporting your club, mate. Man City fans will be saying it's not, of course it's offside. That's not. Leave Man City out of it. It's got nothing to do with them. Of course they're going to say it's not a goal because they've got skin in the game. You can't say, oh, the decision's right because if it was against Man United, you'd say it's offside. Goal! Man City, 2-0. There we go. And the controversy comes even worse. Oh dear. I have to say that this gets worse for Liverpool because they ain't coming back. They're not coming back from 2-0 down. And the controversy will reign a little bit more now. Look, as I said, I think this has been a half. It's gone off Van Dijk as well. It's deflected off Van Dijk. Nico with the shot deflects off the ankle and the keeper can't react. He's wrong-footed. I think the keeper should do a little bit better there. He's wrong-footed, isn't he? Maybe the speed of it. But I literally said this, didn't I? I think this has been a half of football where Man City probably do deserve to be 2-0 up. And that's why it's going to sting Liverpool a lot. Look at City's goal. Foden is in the same position as Robertson, yet their goal was allowed, says Denzi. I'd have to have a look at that at half-time. Michael Oliver is in charge of VAR. Yeah, well, he is in charge, Mott, but I thought it was the linesman who'd given offside. How Oliver has never been investigated is incredible. Well, he's playing a dangerous game doing it to Liverpool, Kieran, isn't he? I mean, let's be honest. If there's one fan base that will absolutely do something about it, it's the Liverpool fan base. Although he's done it to them, he has done it to them before, hasn't he? To be fair, so maybe maybe we'll just keep getting away with it. Binder is terrible, but he was more impeded when Arsenal scored against United. How is that Liverpool goal not being given? P. Jamal in the mud again, says Patrick Lynch. It influences the goalkeeper's decision to dive or not. Michael, get a pair of these. I don't know what game you're watching, and I don't know what's wrong with your ears. Donnarumma was at full stretch diving. He wasn't impeded by Andy Robertson. Watch it back. 2023, Man City versus Fulham, draw at half-time. I know what you're going to say, mate. Aki was in the way of the keeper and he gave it. Yes. But I have to be very careful here, Bart, because I don't know whether it was Michael Oliver who said it was offside or whether it was the linesman. Ahmad's goal against Forest last week had De Ligt in an offside position and in the keeper's eye line, and it was given. Same goal there, says Danny. I know. I thought we got rid of this. I know. If we get 2 more City goals, Liverpool go behind United and we go up to 8th. Wirtz has been terrible. You need to take him off for Gakpo. I mean, I don't like... I mean, look, this is the great thing about That's Football. I think we have proper conversations. I was talking the other week. He needs to take Kirkez out and put Robertson in the team. Why? And I said it before the game. Why he's got Wirtz on the wing and not played Gakpo, I don't know. And Wirtz at the moment is actually playing very central. Doku's been brilliant. Yeah. Goalkeeper should take long throws halfway line to the box, says Kyle. Last week when Haaland steamrolled Bournemouth, you said he isn't that good. That a defence like Arsenal and Liverpool would shut him down, says Abraham. But they already have shut him down, mate. Look, I'm just going to... I have to read it because it's a super chat, but welcome to Stupid Sunday. So Haaland's never been shut down by Rudiger, by Arsenal, by Liverpool. He's never been shut down, has he? No, he's never been shut down. He scores every week. Yeah. There's never been games where people said Haaland's a tapping merchant and can't... You know, if you give Haaland service, he will score goals. Look at the goal he's just scored against Liverpool. It's a cross onto his head and he scored it. Konate's fucked up. It's a great... I mean, Erling Haaland's arguably the best striker in the world at the moment with Kane. If you give him a chance, he will score a goal. What's that? Who's never said that? Who's never said that? I've never not said that. City play football the right way, says Robert McCormack. Get out, Robert. You're not a proper United fan. You probably don't have to read stupid super chats. Oh, thank you. I won't do it then. The Inquisition. Thank you. Right, it's half time. I need to sit down because I've been stood up for about an hour. I need to rest me back. Otherwise, I'll get spectators back. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe to the channel. What are your thoughts on that half of football? I need to first of all talk about the half of football in relation to football, and then I need to sit back a little bit. Actually, my camera's just a little bit off there. And then we need to talk about the controversies, I suppose, before the start of the second half. So look, that does tell the story. Let me just put this out. Nothing's going to break my mood anyway because I fixed the dishwasher. What, you know? PGMOL can screw it. Okay, so half time. Why have I not got that on that? There. Okay, so look, as you can see, Man City 57% possession, 4 shots on target. Liverpool have had no shots on target. I think it's very, very obvious for anybody who's watched that game that Manchester City are without doubt worthy of winning this game at half time. They've been the better footballing side. There is no doubt about it. And I think, you know what? I've always been very much anti-City, and I still very am. But in fairness, they're the best team we've played this season. And they look very, very dangerous. And they're playing very, very well in this game. And they deserve to be winning it. Okay, so Doku's been fantastic. Haaland's had his chance and he's taken it. They've defended well. Man City are worthy of being in front of this game. However, unfortunately, we should be talking about Man City maybe winning the game 2-1. And talking about Man City and how good they are. But yet again, we're watching a game of football where these incompetent, useless prats are ruining it. Because we're talking about officials again. And we should be talking about how good Man City have been. And we're talking about officials again. And look, the penalties are relevant only because the goalkeeper saved it. But let's start off with that. The referee on the pitch doesn't give it, and then he gets told to have a look at it. But it's clearly and obvious a mistake. So the VAR shouldn't get involved. And this is Michael Oliver, who we have evidence of not giving a penalty to Liverpool when Doku kicked McAllister in the chest. But then he is saying you might want to look at this one where there's minimal contact. I mean, does this guy just wake up and go, I'm going to contradict myself? I mean, that's incredible. And then we've got the Van Dijk goal. And look, 75% of you are saying it should have been given. In the context of there being some Man City fans, a lot of people that don't like Liverpool, 75% saying that goal should have been given is basically 100%. Because there will be people who don't like Liverpool, and there will be people who are Man City fans. And if it was Man United, I'd say it was offside. But if we'd scored the goal and it had been off, I'd have kicked the studio down. It's a disgusting decision. And we've already seen goals given for it this year. It's a horrible decision. And all I will say is, I just want to watch it one more time. But from what I saw, that goal, if you take every player off the pitch and it's just Van Dijk heading it against Donnarumma, it's a goal. And that's what I saw. And that's why I went, what the fuck? You know, shit. What a header. I was like, that is a great header. It's unstoppable because it goes right into the corner. And Donnarumma is at full stretch. So why are we not giving goals? Why has nobody got a brain to go, if I take everybody off the pitch, that's a goal. Donnarumma isn't saving it. It's a goal. Like, it doesn't matter about obstructions or technically offside. That's a goal. He was never going to save it. When I also see that Donnarumma is in the eye of Van Dijk trying to dive for it at full stretch, well, he's not interfered with. So I'm sort of like, so we're giving it as offside because Andy Robertson ducked to get out of the way. So he basically took himself into an inactive position and he didn't interfere with anybody. So I'm baffled by that. And ultimately, Man City are the better side. But at 1-1, it changes the complexion of the game, doesn't it? So, yeah. To be fair, Haaland does have 1 goal per game against Arsenal. I personally think he's the best number 9 in the world by a long way, says Default66. I think Harry Kane is better because he's got more to his game. City have shown up with more fire in their belly, says Matt. They've been the better side. Looking forward to hearing Slot slam Liverpool's low block and long ball, says Carl Walsh. Hope you're doing well, Mark, says Jekko. Thank you very much. Eddie Max says, yesterday's game was luck again. No need for all the substitutes when we're only playing 1 game a week. Amrim's almost cost us that game, says Eddie Max. We're live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight. We can talk about that more there. Thank you very much, Eddie. Hope you're doing well. Will they fire Slot this year, says Envim. Look, here we go. Donnarumma is not impeded by this. Watch. Header. No, he's not. He's at full stretch. He's not impeded by Andy Robertson at all. As I said, a player will be penalised if they are preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing their line of vision or challenging an opponent or clearly attempting to play a ball or making an obvious action which clearly impacts on the ability. It doesn't do any of those. It doesn't do any of those. There's the header. There's Andy Robertson. And Donnarumma dives for it. I mean, look, let's just watch Donnarumma. Eyes on the ball. No. That's a goal. That's a goal. Timer's still going. There we go. Yeah, that's a goal. What's your favourite Christmas song, Mark? Love the content. Been a fan since lockdown. Oh, can I just shout out while we've got 19,000 people watching? Incredible. Please do subscribe to the channel. You're very, very welcome. Hopefully we've got an interesting second half to come. This Saturday, so a week yesterday, all-day charity stream for I think it's the 6th year in a row. Please do join us on the channel for as long as you can. We're raising money for people with serious and terminal illness. I think it's terminal illness, actually, with the Marie Curie Centre, but I always say serious as well. But I think it is terminal illness, if we're being honest. It's end-of-life care. So please do tune in next Saturday. It's international break anyway. We are going to be covering the Ben Eubank fight on the evening, and we've got a few other interactive things going on as well. So if you can spare an hour or half an hour or 10 minutes, please do get involved. We're live from 11 a.m. on Saturday, right the way through till the early hours. And I need some suggestions on a horror game for later in the night. So, yeah, get up for that. Thank you very much. Favourite Christmas song? It changes every year. I probably would always say, I don't know. It does change every year. I do like Band-Aid. I do like Band-Aid, to be fair. How comes there was no Bundesliga watch-along, says Mitesh? I had a problem with the camera. You probably don't have... Thank you very much to that from Inquisition. You're not covering the Bundesliga, says Vabe. Well, I'm not going to watch the Bundesliga when it's Man City versus Liverpool, mate. Stuttgart are 2-2 at Augsburg, home to Augsburg at the moment, though. And Freiburg beat St. Pauli, who've lost again. A very interesting weekend, though, with Bayern dropping points. The only way you would impact Donnarumma there is if Van Dijk was directly in front of Robertson, says Lee. Yeah. Look, I think you can see what you want to see. I think some people are reading the chat and some people are saying he clearly does impede Donnarumma, but I don't look at Robertson, I look at Donnarumma. And what the only thing Donnarumma does is this. He goes like that because he thinks, what if Van Dijk heads it that way? So he stutters, he goes like this, he sees that it's going that way, and then he moves, and it's too late. The only reason he does a stutter is because he's thinking, is Van Dijk going to go that way? So he goes like that, and then he sees it's coming that way, and he instantly goes that way. He's got nothing to do with Robertson at all, impedes him, slows him down. He ain't never saving that. That's my interpretation of it. Do you think Slot will be twitching, says Johnny? City have shown up, done that one from Matty. But look, overarchingly, again, it's a massive shame that an officiating mistake sort of dilutes what's been a very good half from Man City. I mean, they have been better. I think from Liverpool's point of view, you can't... Look, what I would say is this. That is a shocking decision, but I like to expose that, and we have done that for years on this channel, and many other people do. That's a shit decision. What I can't say is that's why Liverpool aren't winning. Man City are better than Liverpool. Man City deserve to be winning. You've got Man City deserve to win, Liverpool deserve to be losing, and a shockingly shit officiating decision. And they're all three separate things. So Man City deserve to win in this game. Take away the bad decision, why do Man City deserve to win this game? Because they've turned up better. They've played better. Even in the first 20 minutes, they kept getting in behind Liverpool. And again, I sort of look at Slot's team and I go, it took him too long to realise it needed to be Robertson instead of Kirkes. And now he's putting Wirtz on the left wing. When you look at the first goal, you give any decent right back the freedom to look up and put a cross in. There's a good chance they're going to put it on Haaland's head. Wirtz doesn't close Núñez down. He has got all the time in the world in the Premier League to look up and try and get it onto Haaland's head. And I think Konate could have done a little bit better. But if I was Konate, I'd be saying, all right, I might have done a little bit better. But why is their right back having a look? It's a little bit like a player being on the edge of the box, like Trossard was last night, and not closing him down. If he puts it in the top corner, you're like, why are we giving him a free shot from the edge of the box? And it's the same thing. Why is Núñez getting a free cross into the box? And that's because Wirtz is not a left winger. So I think Wirtz will, well, I can't guarantee it, but I think Wirtz will be a good player. But you can't just shoehorn him in on the left wing. And what I saw of Gakpo against United was that he was you know, he should have scored a hat-trick. He did miss, he hit the post twice and he missed a sitter, but I'd always put those players on the pitch because they make things happen. So I don't really understand the Wirtz on the wing thing at all. Especially when you're at the Etihad and you know you're going to have to defend. I don't understand what that's all about. Another point of view is that the player had to move out of the way from an offside position, so the argument is that they were part of the play, says Brendan. I don't agree. I don't agree, Brendan. At the end of the day, Donnarumma dives for it. Van Dijk puts it in. Should be a goal. What I would say to you, Brendan, is that we shouldn't be trying to find ways to rule out goals in football. We're not the NFL. We don't get, you know, 30, 40 points per game. We get a lot of nil-nils. Football can be nil-nil. We shouldn't be finding ways to rule out legitimate goals. So this is my argument, though. I think football is changing because the officials seem to be trying to find ways to stop goals all the time. If we had games that were 6-6, we can afford for some goals to be ruled out. But this is an entertainment sport. We don't necessarily get loads of goals. So why are we trying to find ways to stop them? It's weird to me. The PGML has done it again. They just ruined a good game of football. Though City is playing well, everyone knows 4 goal is a goal. Please call it out. It's a snake eye. I have done. Brentford denied a penalty for minimal contact today, yet it was more contact than Doku. PGML double standards on the same day, says Glyn. Well, you won't get the mainstream calling the PGMOL out anyway. I've told you this before. They meet up every couple of weeks. There's a call between the radio stations, the TV stations, and the PGMOL every 2 weeks. And in those conversations, when I used to work at TalkSport, I got feedback, tell him to stop doing that. And I was like, well, I'm not going to stop doing it. And I was told, if I didn't stop doing it, there might be some ramifications. And basically, it wasn't the fact that I was calling the decisions out. It was because of the words I was using. I was apparently skirting too close to the edge around not incompetence, corruption. So that's why I don't say that, because I know that they monitor everything. I mean, you can say it, but what I will say is it's pure incompetence, because it is. Welcome to the Prem, where you can knock out a goalkeeper during a corner, but don't you dare stand in the area when there's a shot on goal, says Quinton. Thank you very much, Quinton. And Pops, thank you very much for your super chat as well. Well, thanks everyone for getting your comments in. 75% of you said it should have been a goal. Apparently the mainstream are back to the PGMOL. Surprise, surprise! Cilla Black's back. But look, ultimately, hey, that's not a bad comment. Oh, what's that stain there? That's the dishwasher. It's nothing else. Look at my cords combo. Hey, look at that. It's called my Sunday clothes. I don't know what that is. Always worry about a stain on your chest there. Right, we're ready to go for the second half. Oh, look. Honestly, I mean, I must say I have enjoyed the game. I don't enjoy the drama and the incompetence, but it has been a good game again. And as I said at the start, I wanted somebody to win this game. I think for the Premier League title race, we want a little bit of jeopardy, don't we? Arsenal, I think, will win it, but we want a title race, don't we? We do want a title race. And if it's Man City, Arsenal, and it's Arteta against Pep, so be it. And also, from a United point of view, I don't want Liverpool to win the title because it's 21 times, isn't it? So I don't want it. But what I will always do, and it started off with Liverpool and the offside goal at Spurs that should have been given, is I don't care who it is. I don't care whether it's Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. If there's a bad decision, I'll call it out. And it was horrific. And the reason I call it out is because it might be Liverpool this week, but you can guarantee it'll be Man United next week. I saw the Brentford penalty that wasn't given, Daniel, and this is the problem with the PGMOL. there'll be a red card given, and then in another game there'll be a worse tackle where they say play on, and it's that inconsistency that pisses us off. What was your first FIFA football game? Would be cool to revisit that on Charity Day, says Waffle. Oh, Doku nearly getting a tap in there. I think my first FIFA game was the one... I won the World Cup with Wales. It felt like you were gliding along the ground with the ball. And it was the one where you could run away from the referee. And you'd do it, but he'd never stop. Like, you could literally run up and down the pitch and not get a yellow card, but he'd keep running after you. And you could do it for 20 minutes, and he would still keep running after you. So it must have been like, yeah, I think it was FIFA 95. Was that not the first one that came out? FIFA 95? I feel like it might have been. I remember being very excited about it, but it was shit. Maybe, no, FIFA 95, FIFA International Soccer was the first one. Maybe it was that then. FIFA International Soccer video game. Yeah, I had FIFA International. That's the one I had. FIFA International Soccer, definitely. Because I definitely would have got that game because I obviously love football, and I was mad into computer games then, like Desert Strike and all that lot. So that would have been the first one I got. FIFA International Soccer. Another corner to Liverpool here. Yeah, I remember the little flags and everything. Yeah, I had that one, yeah. Of its time, it was good, but... Something else, but have you seen Luis Diaz's goal? Yeah, I mentioned it in the first half, sat here, Ghost God. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, we'll have all the goals from the Bundesliga going up on Tuesday, but it was a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. Ain't football meant to be a physical sport? It's so soft now, says Tom. Look, you're speaking to the wrong person if you think I'm going to say that the officiating is in any way decent in this country. How many years have we been talking about it? It's shite. Absolute shite. Oh, Liverpool lose this. Title's gone. Yeah. No. I mean, I said it the other week anyway, but look at that. I mean, as it stands, they're in 7th place on 18 points. 8 points off Arsenal. 4 points off City. Obviously, you can turn around an 8-point gap, but they're not going to. Like, they're just not going to do it. They just can't. You know, this needed to be a run after Villa and Real Madrid. They needed to keep this going. It'd be 5 losses, and they've still got an incredible amount of games where they can lose games. I mean, Liverpool could lose 10 games this season. You don't win the league with 10 games. They could lose 10 games. They've still got, like... Go on, Salah. Oh, I tell you what, they're lucky there, City. Salah through the middle. Donnarumma comes out, and all I can say is look, because if he'd have caught any part of Salah, that would have been a red. So you've got to say it's good goalkeeping. Let's have a look at this. It's a ball over the top from Gravenberch. Salah's onside. He's in. Well, it's not good goalkeeping, is it? Because Donnarumma doesn't touch it. I think it might have been Diaz. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're getting very close to 437,000. We're only 200 away. Get involved with That's Football. You're all very welcome. Doesn't matter who you support. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. But yeah, I mean, I'll run a poll on it. If Liverpool lose this, is the title gone? Got some good polls going on today. I mean, look, they could come back. It would be an incredible comeback, but they could. They've got to try. This is why it could be a good second half. Look at this run by Doku, though. They're queuing up. They're queuing up. They're queuing up. They're queuing up. It's Cherky. He got greedy there. He needs to learn to pass. And it's going to be a free kick to City on the edge of the box. And he's booked Bradley as well. Is the title gone if Liverpool lose this? Start the poll. Azrael says, I admire you, Mark. You stand for something. Respect. I just think it's like United yesterday. The amount of people, a lot of people did agree with me, to be fair, but sometimes you do have to stand up for what you believe. And we're only talking about football. I'm not talking about anything bigger than that. But I personally felt that yesterday United were shit. We were very lucky. It's the second week we've done that, and I'm getting a bit pissed off with it. And I don't agree with people going, oh, but look at where we are in the league. It's progress, it's improvement. Of course it's progress and improvement. We were fucking rubbish last year, but I'm not happy with what's going on this year. And I'm not going to pretend for likes that I don't feel like that. City need to be careful and not get complacent. I mean, Cherky's coming off. I think that's intelligent from Pep. I think Cherky there showed immaturity to not pass and shoot. And, you know, I think Pep is one of the best in the world at teaching people that this is a team sport. And he'll learn it. He'll learn it because he's been subbed off after 52 minutes. Hercules, can referees get suspended or fired? Mate, if you're talking about Michael Oliver getting suspended or fired, the guy's done so many crap decisions over so many years, and he can just do what he wants, mate. They always back each other, don't they? 76% say the title was gone for Liverpool if they lose this game. Please do share the video, by the way. We've got nearly 20,000 watching. Another corner to City. From Liverpool's point of view, what you've got to try and do here is it's difficult. You know, you're second best. You're not having a very good evening, but you can't let this turn into 3 or 4 or 5. It's a little bit like United when we lost 7-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. That should have been a lockdown at 2-0. You know. And that's what Liverpool have got to try and do. Obviously, they've got to... Oh, look at Doku again. Gets the shot off as well. Easily man of the match. But yeah, you've got to... They've got to try and get back into the game, but they've also got to make sure that they don't get... Vardial should be booked for that. Is he not booking him? How's that not a yellow card then? This referee doesn't even know what he's on about. So you've booked people for less, and now you're not booked. How is that not a yellow? Did he book him or not? I don't think he did. It's just the pure inconsistent. I mean, Bernardo Silva and Nico for City got booked for way less than that. This is the same game. The same game, and you're not booking a player for being wild and reckless and out of control. Wow. And this is the problem, isn't it? They can't even referee the same bloody game the right way. Why isn't Salah in the team, says Josh. Thank you very much for that. But also, I think from Pep's point of view, it's about game management as well, isn't it? Because you put all the work in the first half. You're 2-0 up. Liverpool are still the champions. They're still one of the best teams in Europe. And what you want to do is just go, look, what Man United should have been doing in the last 2 games. Let's try and keep the ball where we can. Let's try and exploit the spaces that they're going to give us as they try to attack. And what we'll probably see is Liverpool on the attack a lot more. But if they don't score and Man City do it on the break, it's job done. Another corner to Liverpool here. And they clear it. Oh. I need to talk to you about substitutions because Gakpo is on. You've probably seen them. I haven't. Apologies. Our subs will be on the screen for you. Oh my God! I don't know why he's brought Gakpo on. He's shit. Gakpo is on. I don't know why that's not updated on our screen there, because definitely that has happened. Oh no, yeah, Gakpo is just the positional sense, isn't it? Gakpo is on. So yes, let's have a look at this. So we've got Man City lineups. They've made one change, Cherki for Savio. And Liverpool have took Robertson off for Kirkez, and Ekatike's come off for Gakpo, even though Isak's on the bench. So what's that? Vert's gone to false 9. He's definitely a false something, isn't he? He's a false 10. Talk to me, Liverpool fans. Talk to me, everybody. What are your thoughts on Verts? I mean, look, I can't stand, because we've had it with Sesko, we had it with Agate last year. You get it all the time. We've had it with Gyökeres. You know, they have a couple of bad games as a new player, and they're a flop. And Verts might end up being a flop, but I do think he's a good player. United 2013, last team to win the league after 5 consecutive losses, says Nay. Did we lose 5 games in a row in 2013? I don't remember that. I'll take your word for it. Just going to go out for a throw-in. Yeah, very calculated Manchester City performance in the second half. And it's exactly what United need to learn to do, by the way. You've got the game won at half-time. Second half, just soak up a little bit of pressure and look to hit on the break. That was offside, so that won't be a corner. Jim Jam, thanks very much for your super chat. Verts is just slow Timo Werner, says Rub. Gakpo is the Dutch Rashford, says Jacko. And I'm not sure it was a good idea to bring on Kirkes, says VBA. Kirkes was brilliant at Bournemouth last year, and I think he will be. Kirkes, Wirtz, Isak. I think they will end up being good players, but they've come into a difficult situation. There's a lot of change at Liverpool, and maybe the title being gone might help them build for next season. I don't know, but the expectation they won't like that, you know. In a way, the title being not a topic of conversation might just allow them to focus on the domestic cups and actually build something. Because Kirkes, if he can replicate what he did at Bournemouth and Frimpong at Leverkusen and same with Wirtz, they will have a good team. But what a goal. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm doing a Phil Foden. Oh my God. I mean, look, he's already man of the match. I don't think I've seen an individual performance like this in a big game for a very, very long time. He was man of the match at half-time, Doku. He has just scored an absolute classic. An absolute worldie. You talk about, you can take your Erling Haalands, you can take your Declan Rice, you can take your Sakas, you know, you can take your Phil Fodens, but that guy today, that's one of the best performances I've seen in a big game in many years. That is an amazing performance from Doku, and I applaud it. I do. I think this is just the complete performance. Absolutely sensational. And he does remind me a little bit of the lad from Newcastle, St. Maximin, who on his day can be brilliant, and then on the other days you just think, what's he trying to do? But he's been on fire today. I mean, Doku, unbelievable today. Best player on the pitch by a mile. And let's not forget, this is a player that Pep sometimes benches. But he's been brilliant. And, you know, what a goal. What a performance. There won't be any way back from this for Liverpool, by the way. There won't be a way back. I don't think there was going to be at half-time. But what would you give him out of 10 if you had player ratings? So we do player ratings on the United Stand for every watch-along on our match reaction. You mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Some people have said, why don't you do it on That's Football? Because I don't do match reactions, basically. But if I was giving Doku a rating, well, it's easy a 9. I don't know whether, I mean, I wouldn't give him a perfect 10. If he goes and scores a couple more goals, I would. But, I mean, as I said, it's one of the best individual performances I've seen from a player in a big game of football for a very long time. And a big game is like Arsenal-Liverpool, Man City-Liverpool, Man City-Arsenal, etc. He's just been so good. So good. Man United have just gone one step up in the table because of that goal. We have as well. We've gone to 7th because Liverpool's goal difference. Wow. Well, every cloud. That's how bad it is for Liverpool. There's still potentially half an hour. This is what I was talking about. Liverpool now need to not let that go any bigger. Like, we've been on the end of this at Anfield where you're embarrassed and you're trying to get back in the game, but you're leaving the door open at the back. Trust me, they just need to lock it down now and reassess over the international break. This has been one of the worst seasons for the Big Six, says Skells. You seem to have a know-it attitude. Can you start playing Football Manager to show your legendary tactics and insane coaching skills? I've already done it, Happy. I broke the goal-scoring record in the National League with Solihull Moors and got them promoted. So I've already proven myself in that sense. I still might do it again, though. I might set it up for the charity stream and do a little bit. Gakpo, we've done that one. Thanks very much for your super chat. Nearly 20k watching. Well, what a game. I mean, look, it's not a great game if you're a Liverpool fan. And ultimately, I still think you've got a case to have a moan because it should have been 1-1 and who knows what would have happened from there. But you can't argue with the fact that City have been very good. And yes, you were robbed, but in the context of the game, it's not been close, has it? You should have had the opportunity to play at 1-1. I agree, but Man City have been better than you. Manchester United says, Liverpool fell off a cliff when Voronin left. I think it's Núñez. I personally think getting rid of Darwin Núñez, he was the magic piece of the jigsaw, and they've let him go. Where is he? He went to Saudi, didn't he? I think he went to Saudi. Look, the thing that goes in the favour of Eddie Howe, Arne Slot, or any other manager that's under any danger this season is the manager market. Where would you, like, you know, we have this with United a lot. Arteta out, Amrim out, everything like that. But some football fans don't care, don't think about the replacement. They just want the manager out. But where would you go? Like, where would you go anyway this season if you were Newcastle or you were Liverpool? If you needed to sack Slot or Eddie Howe, and I don't think it's the time to do it now, of course, but where would you go? I don't think the manager market is that good at the moment. I really don't. I don't. Man City had this problem. I don't think Pep was going to stay, but I think they sort of had a good chat with him and obviously gave him a good contract and spoke to him about the project, and he fancied it. But if he had gone in the summer, where would Man City have gone? I don't think there's a very good manager market at the moment. I think Vincent Kompany might end up at Man City in a few years' time, but right here, right now, I don't know. I mean, there are good Premier League referees. There are not good Premier League referees. There are good Premier League managers. You know, Glasner at Palace has done very well. Iriola at Bournemouth has done very well. But are they the right type of manager for a Liverpool or a Newcastle? Also, would their style of play work? Get Jurgen Klopp back. Well, Jurgen Klopp back at Liverpool, I'm sure, would be the dream for every Liverpool fan, but I'm not sure he'd do it. I think there can be more goals here. This could be not just a beating, could be a trouncing. Where do you go from here? Well, I'll tell you where you go from here. The next few fixtures are where we go from here. So we come back after the international break. Arsenal play Spurs and Newcastle play Man City. I think that's a big weekend, you know. It's going to be a what? What's the gap? 4 points? It's not a very big gap now, is it? Is it 4 points gap at the top? 4 points gap. And Arsenal have got to go to Man City. So title race on. Newcastle against Man City after the international break, and Man City play first. So it could be a 1 point gap ahead of the NLD on the Sunday. Arsenal host Spurs. Liverpool are playing Forest at home as they look to lick their wounds and come back. Following weekend, Arsenal go to Chelsea, but Man City play Leeds at home. So, I mean, is it beyond the realms of possibility? But by the time that Chelsea-Arsenal game is over, Man City could be, well, they could be top. If Chelsea beat Arsenal and Spurs get a draw out of them and Man City win both their games, they'd be top. So it could turn around very, very quickly. I think we've got a title race on our hands. I really do. When do Man City play Arsenal? That is a very good question. I will tell you now. I would say it will be... It's not January. It's not February. It's not March. April. I don't know why it's in April, considering they played each other in September. April the 18th, Man City against Arsenal. Good play by Szoboszlai down the wing. Interesting cross. Absolutely nobody there because they've not got a striker on the pitch. Jap says you should be the next coach for Man United. Arna, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Arna, Surf, you got me singing there. Do you reckon Liverpool will finish top 10? Also, who's better, Verts or Fred, says James. That's sort of the sort of comment you just leave it. You've done the joke already. I can't really add anything to that. I think Liverpool will get top 4. Yeah. I think this is about the title race being over. I don't think Liverpool are going to finish outside the top 4. I still think they've got the quality to do that. And that's going to have to be their focus from here. But the title race is gone. In my humble opinion. Yeah, don't forget to tune into the United Stand tonight at 8 o'clock. Good show for you. They're all good shows at the moment. Very, very tempestuous conversations going on. Lovely goal by Doku. Really was. He's coming off. He's had a good game. Stuttgart still 2-2 with Augsburg. Nico is better than Gravenberch, says Reeb. Oh, I don't agree with you on that one, mate. But, you know, end of the day. End of the day, it's up to you. Szoboszlai. It's a poor pass. And now it's Man City on the break. You are my one ambition. Show Salah. I mean, Salah has been so quiet again. I mean, is it over for Salah? Is it over for Salah? Is it a season too far? We've witnessed this at United. You know, Rooney stayed on too long. The thing about a drop-off is it can happen like that. For some players, it's gradual. For some players, it happens in a summer. You know, you finish a season, you come back, and on Salah, I don't believe it's over. But I think there has been a drop-off. I'm so eager for the fan reaction videos after this game, says Corin. Will the 8 o'clock show be about toxic whining again, says Orange. They should have sold Salah and kept Diaz, says NDW, but didn't want to stay. If Liverpool get a goal back, what a save by Donnarumma from Szoboszlai. If Liverpool get a goal back, do we go back down to 8th? I think we do. Right, we need to stay this needs to stay at 3-0 then. Slot and Howe struggling, but they will still talk about Amrim's system, says Miguel. Liverpool should have won for Vinny Jr. for 130 million, says Keel. Offside. In terms of what you want from a striker, says Jace, I think Haaland is the best in the world, unfortunately. You know I'm a United fan, but God, he is so good. Oh, I think... I get that. I do get that. I prefer Harry Kane because I think he brings more to the game than just goals. I think he can score the goals and he can be part of the link-up. But if you've got players like Phil Foden, Doku, and creatives, you don't need Harry Kane dropping deep. You just need the the guy up top. So depends how you want to play. If you want a striker that drops in and has quick players running past him and scores you loads of goals, it's Harry Kane. If you just want the striker to be the penalty box striker, you go Haaland. And yeah. And that's the conversation. I don't think there's there is a definitive, because it's a bit like Messi, Ronaldo. You pick one, don't you? And you pick one, Kane or Haaland, but they also are very different number 9s. They'll both score you loads of goals. And it depends how you want to play. There'd be no point having Harry Kane up front and then having Odegaard or Phil Foden. It just wouldn't work, because Odegaard and Foden are not quick. They want to probe. They want to play little passes. And they're better suited to a Haaland type of player. 100% Salah packed it in when he lost the Ballon d'Or, says Soupy. Thank you very much. Take what you need and be on your way, and stop crying your heart out. No, it'd be a good 8 o'clock show tonight. To the person who said, will it be toxic whining? It's never toxic anyway when you care about your football club and you're trying to make them better. But it'd be an interesting angle on the show tonight. Also, I'm going to say, tune in at 8 o'clock. And that doesn't mean I'm doing it naked or anything stupid like that. We're not that desperate for views yet. I don't know what to have for... I've already had my main meal. I had cottage pie, which is lovely. Salah! Misses. Yeah. It's harsh, isn't it? Wow, Salah missing that chance. Well, it's sort of well, it's great for us. I don't want Liverpool to score for obvious reasons. I don't want Liverpool to score. If they score, they go above us in the league. So Donnarumma keeps it on. I just had to go out the room because my daughter's... I thought she was here till tomorrow, but she's just gone back to uni, so I was just going to say goodbye. As I'm sure you can understand. So we've still got 10 minutes to go here. I'm thinking about a title for the match reaction. There's got to be a match reaction for a game like this. Wow. You know, how would you not? It's a seismic result in the season. There's no doubt about that. And as I say, it gives us a title race and it removes someone from the title race. That's what today does. And, you know, people can argue about that as much as they like. But if Man City can get a clean sheet as well, that would be another bonus for them. Offside, Salah there. I mean, that's lazy. Szoboszlai's got every right to look at him there and go, why the fuck are you offside there, mate? Gone. It's funny, a lot of people had Liverpool to win the league, didn't they, in the summer? I don't think many people had City to win the league. I'd keep an eye on City. As I've been saying for a few weeks now, they're the best team we've played, Man United, by a very long way. This could be 4. And he's over the bar, O'Reilly. They're they're the best team we've played this season, and I think they're probably the best footballing team I've seen to watch, which is weird because I don't like Pep ball, but they're not really playing tiki-taka football. They're a little bit more direct and quick, and I actually quite like the way they're playing at the moment. They're a dangerous team. They are a dangerous team, Arsenal. I don't mean they're a dangerous team, Arsenal. I'm saying they're a dangerous team, Arsenal. Like Arsenal, they're dangerous, you know. Verts, stinker. Off he goes. Been interesting to see if the goal had been given that should have been given, if it had made any difference. I mean, we can't. Goals change games, and we can't predict what impact it would have had. But there's no arguing that Doku was the best player on the pitch, and there's no arguing that Man City are worthy of a win. We just would have had a very different game at 1-1. He's offside again there, Salah. I don't know what the referee, the linesman's played it on, but he was definitely offside. Yeah. I've got a good super chat coming in here. I will read it as well. And it is the title gone if Liverpool lowers this? 81% of you say yes. Do you think England can win the World Cup, says Ethan? If they build it around Harry Kane, yeah. If he starts picking people like Bellingham and Foden just to get all his best players in, no. You've got to play system football. Regarding progress, Lamens has made great saves. If we had Onana, we'd be 15th. If we had Lamens last year's, we'd be 8th. So is there real progress, as Parker? Parker, I'm gonna pinch that. I'm literally gonna use that on the show tonight. You are a legend. Can't find any bloody paper. I had a bit of paper. That's not the bit of paper I wanted. This is a great conversation topic. Well done. Well done, Parker. And I better put your name next to it. 8 o'clock, we'll discuss that. Angry Brit says, do you think Arne Slot trying to play certain players into form rather than those who are not are but not in favour? Yeah. Yeah, I think picking Verts today on the wing is about trying to get a player in that you've bought that you want to do well. And he did that with Kirkes for a while. But, you know, you look at United, how many times has Maguire come back into the plans of a manager where you think he's not going to be part of the plans? Kim, thanks for super chats. How can we expect United to be top 5 when we bought 4 players with Sesko needing development? Lots of the bottle jobs from Europa final still here, says Charlie Carrison. Thank you. Vib says, who's a better finisher, Kane or Haaland? Well, I'll ask the chat. You know, if your life depended on it and you can pick Kane or Haaland running through one-on-one, who would you take? Just imagine United won that Brentford game, says Said. Well, we were never going to win that Brentford game. I mean, that's one game we can't actually say we should have won. Brentford totally deserved to beat us. I think we should have won the Forest game. I think we should have won the Spurs game. I think we could have won the Fulham game. And we could have not lost to Arsenal. Shady says, the people in the chat mocking Salah is a literal Premier League right-wing legend, don't deserve to breathe the same air as the rest. Shahin says, last season I said it was Klopp's title. How can you spend 300 million on champions and get this bad? Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, Shahin, right? You know, you've got Trent and Robertson who basically weren't playing at the start for different reasons. You've got two wing backs who haven't settled. there was a number of players that were really important last season who started the season badly. Van Dijk, Konate, McAllister, and Salah. You've also had injuries to Gravenberch and Alisson. Diaz left, which is a very important player as well. Obviously, the tragedy around Jota. So there's a lot of reasons why Liverpool, you can't just go they spent £300 million on the Champions, because that Champions team didn't exist anyway. There's been a lot of change. The question is, Man City have gone through a lot of change as well. Man City have lost a lot of players and bought a lot of players, and here we are. The question has to be, why aren't Liverpool playing well? You could expect 100%, and a period of change, but I don't think you can accept, 5 losses in 6 games? I think that is something now where it's becoming a big problem for them, because the title's gone. So they've lost 5 games in their last 6 Premier League games. But look, I don't think Liverpool Football Club is the sort of football club to panic. The problem will be, as it is with any football club, is are the players buying into the manager? If they're buying into the manager, then they need to just reset and try and build back. But if that doesn't work, then the run of games, if they keep losing games, I think it's inevitable that something will have to change. Villa were very impressive today, Koru. Very impressive. I mean, they've won 5 of their last 6. Do you think that goal would have changed the game, says Yanni. It's funny here, Curtis Jones has got quite rightly booked for tripping up Sabio, but you look back at what Vardiel did and didn't get booked. It's weird. Absolute stinker by the PGMOL today. Do I think the goal would have changed the game? Well, I don't know what would have happened. There was a long time for Man City to still win the game, and maybe they probably would. But the reality of that Van Dijk goal is that it happened at a time where I think I actually went, what the hell? Shit. It was a good header at a point where Man City were well on top. So if it had gone back to 1-1, Liverpool might have gone, right, this is our moment. And Man City might have gone, oh, for God's sake. So you don't know. The honest answer is we don't know. You could easily say, oh, Man City still would have won the game, but nobody can definitively say. But the reality is the goal should have been given and it would have had an impact. I don't think you can use it as your reason to go, oh, that's why we didn't win the game, because I think Man City have been definitely better. But it doesn't excuse the decision, if you know what I mean. Is Eddie Howe in danger, says Reverse Clouds? I don't think he is, but only because I don't think the manager market is very good. But it's terrible for Newcastle at the moment. Really bad. 3 minutes added on. Looks like it's Pep who won the Battle of the Bold, says Vishnu. Ooh. Mamouche nearly got in a one-on-one there. Would have been an assist for Haaland. Reeb says, I can't wait to see Cherki against United. I couldn't give a shit, mate. I don't really get what his problem is. We knocked them out of the bloody Europa League. Boo-hoo. I don't know why Foden's holding his head there. I will be doing a match reaction, yes. And don't forget, United stand at 8 o'clock. Good show on that tonight as well. We will be touching on the Premier League in general and just the tightness at the top. It's incredible. You know, who is going to get top 4? What's your thoughts on where this has gone wrong then tonight for Liverpool? Is it just Man City are better, or do you think there's actually... Brendan says, sad tonight, we've got to take this on the chin. Yeah, Doku man of the match is... I mean, I gave it... I would have given... I think at half-time he was man of the match. I don't think anybody was going to have a second half that was going to take it away from him on the first half. And then he scored a worldie as well. That's man of the match for me, says Anders. He's mystery man of the match. I think from Liverpool's point of view, it's really got to be, can they improve for the Champions League and can they start moving up the Premier League? They've got Forest at home, then they've got West Ham away, then they've got Sunderland at home, Leeds away, Brighton at home, Spurs away, Wolves at home. So there's winnable games, but in this league, you don't necessarily know. That's full time. It's a fantastic result for Man City. Totally deserved in the end. I'm going to do a match reaction now. I'll upload it as quick as I can. I think that's the title over for Liverpool. I think there's a lot of things I have to get into that. I am going to talk about the officiating. I think it's disgusting. I think that's a separate issue and it needs calling out. But Man City said it. They're the best team Man United have played this season. And we've got a title race. 4-point gap. Arsenal will be looking at it and going... And you know the big thing is, Pep... Arteta, it's always been, I'm the master and you're the pupil. He's breathing down his neck. That might get into, it's gonna be an interesting title race. We've got a title race and that's what I wanted. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm on live with you again on the 8 o'clock show. I'll speak to you all in a bit.